You can go suck on my ponytail. Every Tom, Dick and Hermione. Why not give you guys the best of Netflix? What is right to watch and how you should watch it. Brought to you by Mr. Kev. Hit that subscribe button. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mr. Kev. I am a musical porn star, if you're wondering what that is. Hey everyone, my name is Mr. Kev and I am the first Indian musician to release his music on porn sites. Technically, India's first musical porn star. I've got a variety of content, so if you're the adventurous soul looking for new frontiers to explore, you would definitely enjoy my videos. Sorry boring people, not for you. Some of you might be new here. Hit that subscribe button. If you're not used to my channel, you can click right here and it'll lead you to some of my works. Some of the best works out there. This, if you're watching, is specifically for India. In India, on 5th and 6th of December, Netflix has offered free connection, so you can go watch anything for those 48 hours. Why not give you guys the best of Netflix? What is right to watch and how you should watch it. Brought to you by Mr. Kev. Of course, I got some help from my friend Bivin. If you haven't heard the news, Netflix is offering every Tom, Dick and Hermione who wants to make the best use of Netflix for 48 hours, okay? And my goal is to watch series, not movies, because there are too many movies out there and to compile them into a series is a little difficult. But at the same time, series, I can just concentrate on a bunch of them and you guys are good to go. So I'm gonna split these things into packets for you guys so you can choose which kind of series you want to watch, what series you want to watch. Before we start, let's talk about how you can do this, right? 48 hours start on the 5th, early midnight, 12 a.m. You should either wake up by then, by 12 a.m. and then start watching, or start at 12 and sleep later or whatever. But 48 hours means, you know, you need to find some time to sleep. And I'm gonna round off, your sleep time to about 12 hours. It's ideal if you get 6 hours of sleep or like 8 hours of sleep before, so maybe sleep at 4 and then wake up at 12 so that you guys have enough time to binge on these shows. This is the best way you can optimize utilization of this 48 hours. These are shows that I have watched and others have watched and recommended. It's going to be a compilation. If I've missed a few shows, it's probably because it won't fit this time constraint. There are very few select shows that can actually fit this particular pocket, and there is another factor to this. I might just be ignorant, not having watched a bunch of series. I did miss out on mentioning a few shows, so do let me know what I might have missed on down on the comment section. And yes, if you've seen any of these shows, let me know what you guys think of these shows. And there are a few shows that I haven't completely watched. Let me know if I should skip on some of these shows. Now back to the video. We will start with the first set, which starts with Umbrella Academy. It's a sci-fi fantasy comic book superhero styled series. So you get around 19 hours of watch time, which gives you some space to watch another series, which is Layla. If you haven't watched Layla, this is one of the best Indian series that I've come across that not many people talk about. It revolves around a post-apocalyptic India where Hindu nationalist movement takes over and India essentially becomes a Hindu nationalist state. I would definitely recommend both these series. Let's move to the next one, which is Marvel's Daredevil, which actually broke the stereotypes of comic book series. It's based on a Marvel character named Daredevil, and it's one that brought some interesting characters and made us believe that, you know, the comic book series is not a joke. Because what did we have before? Arrow, Flash, and we had what? Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. No. People who come and tell me Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is good, you can go suck on my ponytail. Daredevil has some of the best action sequences in a TV series. Well written characters, well written screenplay, well shot sequences. Now here's the problem, right? An hour each episode, which amounts to 39 hours. If you're watching the Daredevil, go find which are these episodes that are very slow, and then there is an option on Netflix where you can speed up your playback to 1.5. Put it on 1.5. It's worth it. Trust me. Let's move on to the next set, which starts with Stranger Things, which is a sci-fi series that sort of delves into the right kind of nostalgia from back in the 80s. There is synth-based music, which is reminiscent of that era. Eccentric towns. For some reason, I think I relate 80s to very eccentric towns. This is like a horror-ish sci-fi thriller kind of a series. 25 hours. You'll still have time for another series. I'm going to suggest this very beautiful mockumentary called American Vandal. If you've enjoyed Stranger Things series with like a bunch of kids moving around doing their own thing, this is just the right series for you. The premise of this series in itself is so magnetic that it held me glued to the screen till the end. The question in the series is who spray painted dicks on all the cars out on the parking lot of a school. The usual suspect, this guy, could possibly be innocent. We do not know. At the same time, there are these AV club kids who decide to make a documentary surrounding this particular incident. They do their investigation. What you're watching is their film. I guarantee you'll come out of it really happy. Moving to the next set, which starts with Ozark. It is something that I haven't watched. It is sort of thriller mafioso kind of a series. I watched like 4 episodes and I didn't finish it, but my friends say it is a slow burn and it's too good. Amounts to around 30 hours. With that extra bit of time, I recommend watching Sacred Games, which I feel would be on the same ballpark. Sacred Games is an Indian series featuring Saif Ali Khan and Nawazuddin Siddiqui. I watched the first season, haven't watched the season 2. That's why I would recommend just watching the season 1. Go watch this season 1. So that was Ozark and Sacred Games. Moving to the next set, starts with Dear White People. It's a series I haven't watched yet. I've been hearing some great stuff about it. That's why I added this to the list. Sums up to 15 hours. In this extra time that you have, I would recommend watching mini documentary series called Bobby Kennedy for President. The documentary is on the late Bobby Kennedy who was assassinated, and it takes you through some of the testing periods of what he was going through during the campaign and everything around it. I love the show. Of course, has a political tie-in. It makes him look very good. At the same time, I enjoyed the montages, the way it is shot, the way it is recorded. This series has one of the best opening theme musics of all time. Top 5, it is a good contender. 4 hours, 1 hour each episode. Moving on to the next set is Narcos. If you haven't heard of Narcos, which cave have you been living in? Narcos revolves around Pablo Escobar. It's a loosely reenacted show. There are several historical inaccuracies, like the actor in the series is not a Colombian and the accent is not exactly Colombian, but it is still worth your time because of the beautiful filmmaking. The intense moments that you go through is great. It's some of the best intense moments that you can find in a commercially shot series. Unlike other films or series where these historical characters are shown to speak in English, right, even though they do not know English, here you actually get to see these characters talk in their native tongue, which is Spanish, I believe. So I loved it. 30 hours. Trust me, this is all you need to watch. You don't need anything more. Moving on to the next set. This is actually a beautiful set. This is Sex Education, which is one of my favorite coming of age series, and I loved it. There is some kind of a relatability factor. I don't know what exactly it is. 1 hour each episode, which is 16 hours, which means you still have extra time, in which I recommend watching End of the Fucking World. It is a series that I haven't watched yet, but I am willing to, because for some reason Netflix keeps suggesting this series over and over and over again. 20 minutes each, which hits around the ballpark of 5 hours. Moving to the next series in this particular bunch is the series called Love, Death, Robots. 1 season right now, 3.7 hours in total. It's a must watch because each episode is a different animation and it's beautiful looking visuals. Oh man, and some great voice acting. Moving on to the next set, it starts with Master of None. It's a comedy drama starring Aziz Ansari. It is written by Aziz Ansari, which follows an Indian that isn't stereotypical, by the way. Here, for the first time, we see a non-stereotypical character as a central main character, and it takes you through his life moments, his dating, and how he deals with his friends. It's worth the time. 10 hours in total. After you watch this, you can watch a guilty pleasure series of mine, which is something about it that, makes me sit and watch the series. This series is about a serial stalker. One of my favorite guilty pleasures, guys. It tries to be very conscious, and places like it turns out to be very pretentious, and other times it feels very light, easy, and stupid fun that you can just sit back, turn off your brain, and then just watch. Amounts to around 18 hours. Moving on to the next set. The first one is Castlevania by Netflix. It's a series by Netflix. It's based on a game, and it is shot in the style of anime. It's one of the best experiences I've had on Netflix. Great storytelling, interesting action sequences that I've seen in anime. It's beautifully drawn, guys. It's a treat. 11 hours. To couple this, I would recommend Death Note, which is another anime series. Probably one of the best rated anime series out there. Rightfully so, it is really good. The premise is what happens when a highly narcissistic teenager with a god complex gets hold of a book which gives you the power to kill any human on planet Earth. As long as you know the killer's name, you get to write how that person dies, essentially. That's just the best kind of thriller that you can get out there. There is a rivalry in between with this particular lead detective of sorts and this teenager. So good. Moving on to the next bunch. First series, highly recommend it, which is Mindhunters. It tells you the story about a bunch of FBI agents who create a new crimes unit that follows serial killers. They actually coined the word serial killer. Identifies patterns based on psychology to crack down on these serial killers and possibly figure out where their next crime is going to happen. So it's based on true stories and true events. Exceptionally well written, beautifully shot, some of the best chills and thrills. There are some amazing recreations of actual serial killer interview footages. So good. I can't recommend this show enough. 1 hour each, 19 hours. I hope that there's a third season. The series is so underwatched that Netflix is considering cancelling this series. So guys, go watch this series. Go watch this series right now. To couple this, I would recommend watching American Crime Story, People vs. O.J. Simpson. I guess I am a sucker for crime dramas. This one is no exception. It's got one of the best recreations of actual live footages. Courtroom drama was live telecasted. It is one of the most popular live telecasted court cases out there. The trials of the American footballer O.J. Simpson, who allegedly killed his wife, we still don't know. That's the beauty of this particular situation. Nobody knows, but he was still convicted. The courtroom drama has been well documented, and the recreation side by side. Some of these people have embraced these characters, studied these characters, and actually put them on screen, which is just fabulous. Worth your time. Go watch it. 10 hours right there. Moving on to the next set. It starts with One Punch Man. It's an anime series about a superhero that wins every fight with just one punch. It's about how he's tired of fighting because there is nothing more that he can do other than just one punch. He always wins with just one punch. So you get to see this just super overpowered character go through his life, frustrated that he can't move past. He gets such satisfaction when he gets beaten. It lets his rival beat him up just so that he can punch back and just finish the match, and he is disappointed. There are these scenes where he's just so frustrated that he won the fight that he just screams out, breaks, and he's like, why? So it's a great watch. Funny, the humor is great. It heavily relies on satire, which I love. The next series is Witcher, a series based on the video game of the same name. It features Henry Cavill. The show is an epic fantasy thriller. Worth the time. It is probably a contender for why video games can actually be great television series. One season, 8 episodes, an hour each, 8 hours. Moving to the next one is Cobra Kai. If you don't know Cobra Kai, it is a direct sequel to the actual original Karate Kid from back in the 80s. So if you haven't watched Karate Kid, which I'm pretty sure most of us have been fans of. No, this is not the one with Jackie Chan. This is the older one, the 80s one. I remember being influenced by this so much, and this is a sequel to that, a series that is a sequel to that. You have some of the original characters here, turns the tables upside down, and this is a series that you must watch. I enjoyed this. It puts such a beautiful spin on the original story. I remember watching this as a kid and wanting to be like the main character, but after this series, I might have to rethink. 30 minutes each, which amounts to around 10 hours. The last bunch that we have is an odd one because I couldn't find anything that would fit well with this particular series. The first one is Dark. It's a German sci-fi series around the concept of time travel. If you enjoy time travel based sci-fi films, this is a must watch. The characters are well written. I enjoyed the show for what it is. It has you hooked from the first few minutes. If you enjoy Stranger Things, this is another Stranger Things styled series. A lot of people like to recommend this show to people who enjoy Stranger Things. Yeah, this show recently ended and it is a must watch for sci-fi enthusiasts. 26 hours. Club this, I have another series which is an animation series called The Blood of Zeus. I enjoyed this and that is why I would recommend it. It is an animated series telling stories about Zeus's illegitimate son with an earthling mother and the conflict that ensues. I'm not gonna say anything more. Go watch it. I enjoyed the series. Now you might be wondering, why is there no Money Heist, Mr. Kev? Why is there no Lucifer? Why is there no Orange is the New Black? Why is there no House of Cards? Why is there no BoJack Horseman? Why is there no 13 Reasons Why? Well, let me give you one good reason why. They won't fit the time limit. That is all on this episode of Kevlogs. I hope you liked this episode where we broke down some of the series and why you should watch it. If you haven't checked out my music, check it out right over here. I will put up an iCard, and yes, please subscribe to this channel. If you're new here, don't forget that Mr. Kev is the best. So share this video with your friends. Probably they might want to watch some of these series as well. This is the way you recommend to your friend. Now you don't have excuses, dude. Go watch these series. This is the best way you can do it. If you like this episode, please hit the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Share this video with your friends. Definitely recommend it to them. Tell them you can't give any excuses anymore, my friend. That's it. My name is Mr. Kev. I will see you guys soon on the next episode. Take care. See you. Bye-bye.